Hello and welcome back to No Bullshit. Today we return to talking about one of the few good old boys still out there representing for us in Hollywood, Chris Pratt. He has recently come under attack again, and you'll never guess the reason why. The very funny, talented, and likable actor Chris Pratt has certainly been no stranger to controversy over the past year or so. With more and more social justice warriors taking over the media and using their platforms to attack people they don't like, it was only a matter of time until Pratt would come under attack by leftists like them. Chris, of course, although very mainstream and pretty politically correct already and non-confrontational publicly, well, despite all that, he still angers some because Chris represents everything the radical liberals hate. He's straight, white, good-looking, highly successful, and, not to mention, Chris is a God-fearing, patriotic American Christian. And all of these are traits and identities that the politically correct left-wingers simply despise, especially in current year. Combine all this with Pratt's rising popularity and, well, this spells disaster for our boy, unfortunately. And ever since he blew up in the last few years, joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe's Guardians of the Galaxy movie in 2014, and then mounting the relaunch of the Jurassic Park franchise in 2015, well, ever since that boom in Pratt's career, not only has he become a household name, he's also become a target for the SJWs. They always love to attack and try and take down anything that is popular, of course. It makes liberals feel important and relevant when, really, they just sound like whiny, racist, offensive assholes to most normal people like us. Before we get to this new controversy, though, which is absolutely insane, but first, let's recap what previously got Chris in hot water with the world's PC pushers out there. About a year ago, Chris Pratt was getting backlash over supposed gender pay gap violations. Last summer was when Jurassic World 2 came out, and when the media found out details about what the actors were being paid for that movie, they were none too pleased to discover that Chris Pratt was making a good amount more than his female counterpart. Never mind the fact that most people don't even know who that redhead chick in the movie was, and also, Chris's role obviously requires more work physically, acting, and stunts-wise, but SJWs don't consider any sorts of details or nuance like that when they make these stupid controversies up. They just look at a movie, see it stars a male and a female, and then they pretend that both of those actors deserve the exact same pay, even if that's not true at all. And really, these leftists are just pretending they want fairness as a way to justify their real actual goal, which is to get women and minorities to get paid more no matter what. To prove this theory, just see if you can find any instance where these SJWs complain about a woman getting paid too much money. Good luck finding that though, because it really never happens. Because their fake gender pay gap attacks are only ever directed at straight white males, because their hatred of us is another of their devious and secret motivations. The next time that Chris Pratt caught the liberal press's eye was earlier this year. Back in February, another fellow actor named Ellen Page began attacking Chris because she didn't like the church that he went to. Then the SJWs in the mainstream media gladly picked up on this story too, as they slandered Pratt as a sexist and homophobic for no goddamn reason. Even if their unfounded claims did hold any truth related to that church, Chris Pratt was certainly not a part of anything anti-LGBTQ. That's why he, of course, denied all these claims, even saying nothing could be further from the truth. I go to a church that opens their doors to absolutely everyone. And that's about all I need to hear myself. In my opinion, Ellen Page, the girl that attacked him, is just a bitter lesbian who has an axe to grind with straight white males, particularly churchgoers. And this hatred of the standard, traditional, historical American citizen is really coming to a head with this news story this week too. As we can see now, Chris Pratt is being attacked by SJWs for wearing a pro-American t-shirt. No, I'm not kidding. It's that ridiculous. Basically, the claim going around this time is that Chris Pratt is a white supremacist because he was caught wearing a "Don't Tread on Me" t-shirt in public a few days ago. Absolutely insane, and for those who don't know, "Don't tread on me" is just this common traditional phrase that's been used as an American motto throughout our history. Sometimes called the Gadsden flag, the "Don't Tread on Me" banner typically features a snake with the line "Don't tread on me" written underneath it. And this was actually one of the original American flags too, which was used before the US even adopted the Stars and Stripes one. And essentially, the phrase means don't walk all over us. Don't tread on us, meaning don't take advantage of Americans or treat us like shit. Stuff like that. Something like that is the basic meaning. And what's more important here is that this whole thing has nothing to do with race at all. Yet, somehow, the left is making Pratt out to be a white supremacist of sorts. Ridiculous. And this is all coming from the SJW SJWs' tendency to be not only anti-white, but also anti-American, a running theme we've seen with liberals for years now, particularly in the last few weeks. For more details on this new Chris Pratt controversy, let's turn to an article from Yahoo called "Chris Pratt Criticized for T-Shirt Choice." Check this bullshit out. Chris Pratt is facing criticism over a t-shirt he was pictured wearing featuring a controversial symbol. The Marvel star's top shows the American flag with a coiled snake over the top and a message underneath which reads, "Don't tread on me." The writing and snake combo on its own is depicted on the Gadsden flag, a symbol created by Christopher Gadsden, a Charleston-born brigadier general in the Continental Army. It came to prominence during the Revolutionary War of the United States by colonists who wanted independence from Great Britain. And there's a picture of this so-called offensive t-shirt Chris Pratt is wearing, which just looks like it's pro-American and patriotic to me. But the same reasons that we love Chris, him being a funny white male who loves America, well, these are the same reasons that leftists hate him as well. We're about to get into some of the BS reasons for how SJWs can make this thing offensive, but needless to say, they're not too convincing at all. And right out the gate, I can already see where this is going too. Conservatives tend to be the ones who are more pro-American in this country these days, let's face it. And also, lots of Republican voting types are the ones who sport the "Don't Tread on Me" garb, like Pratt's t-shirt. Whether it's t-shirts like this or a black sleeveless "Don't Tread on Me" shirt, which I actually own myself, or, in addition, it's very common to see trucks with stickers that have this logo in the United States, particularly in Florida and the South. Now, I don't think any of us rocking this gear have ever thought of it as pro-white supremacist or anything like that. Most people sport "Don't Tread on Me" stuff because it's pro-American actually, and it's also a pretty badass and cool symbol of our revolution and breaking off from Great Britain in the first place, all the way back in 1776. So with that said, it's really no surprise "Don't Tread on Me" shirts have started to pop up more often around this time of the year, since we did just celebrate the 4th of July, America's Independence Day, a few weeks back. But this kind of patriotic pro-America stuff all triggers the leftists and social justice warriors. They hate it and our country so much, they like to pretend that all of this is racist and pro-white supremacist, when it's really not. Although it is one of the symbols and flags used by the US men's soccer team, Metallica, as well as some libertarian groups, over the years the flag has been adopted by far-right political groups like the Tea Party, as well as gun-toting supporters of the Second Amendment. It has therefore become a symbol of more conservative and far-right individuals, and according to the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission of the US, it also is sometimes interpreted to convey racially tinged messages in some contexts. Wow. And that's about it too. That's really all the left has to make this thing sound racist and offensive. They try and tie it to conservatives, which, as I mentioned, we already know that's true. But the so-called far-right being demonized here, they've actually done nothing wrong. At least I haven't seen anything being done wrong, and nothing's been listed here. The Tea Party, for example, which is mentioned, they're not out in the public saying offensive things, nor are they saying racist things or doing anything relevant whatsoever. The Tea Party has been pretty irrelevant for years now. Really, the article writers and this Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, they're acting like this "Don't Tread on Me" symbol is comparable to the swastika or the racist Democrat-led KKK or something. But really, it's not comparable to that at all. Of course not. All they really have to support this is some vague line saying sometimes it's interpreted to convey racially tinged messages in some contexts, whatever that means. And, well, it's really the liberals who are doing that very rare interpretation that's mentioned. The left-wing SJWs are the ones who made this symbol racist in the first place, not the people supporting it or wearing it on their car or t-shirt. If the "Don't Tread on Me" people did something offensive or terrible, like publicly promoting white supremacy or, say, killing people or something, then yeah, you might have an argument here, but none of that is happening at all. Nothing's happening. Really, Democrats are just calling conservatives racist once again, for no good reason. It's why some people are critical of Pratt wearing a t-shirt featuring the Gadsden flag iconography. Many have posted their feelings about it on Twitter. Andy Dwyer would never wear a shirt emblazoned with a white supremacist dog whistle. Chris Pratt is unequivocally the worst Chris, tweeted by Amanda Clark. And well, when a liberal like this uses the term dog whistle, here's what they really mean. This person I'm attacking hasn't actually done anything wrong or racist or offensive, so I'm going to say they dog whistled it, meaning they were secretly being offensive without any way of knowing or proving that it happened. Then the crazies expect us to take their word for it on this, that this person who supposedly dog whistled is secretly being racist, even though, you know, these are the same people who call everyone racist for no reason, other than they call everyone who they disagree with a racist, and everyone they don't like is a racist too. How convenient for them. And we've got a little bit of a boy who cried wolf situation going on here too. The left-wingers have called people racist so many times now, they're not to be taken seriously on this anymore. And there's no better example of the racist claims being baseless than attacking Chris freaking being Pratt, a golden boy, a guy who never hurt anyone, a clean-cut, God-fearing American Boy Scout, who most people know would never harm a fly, let alone support racism and anti-minority hatred. Although Pratt has not come out as a supporter of the Republican Party, it seems he shares conservative viewpoints on the gun lobby and is a member of the Hillsong Church, which has been accused by ex-members as well as Ellen Page as being homophobic. The actor attends the church with his wife, Katherine Schwarzenegger, who he married in early June. Pratt has most recently been promoting the first trailer of Pixar's new animation Onward, in which he plays one of the two teenage elf brothers, alongside Tom Holland, who embark on an extraordinary quest to discover if there's still a little magic left in the world. Pratt is the voice of Barely Lightfoot, and Holland is his younger brother Ian in the film, which hit cinemas March 2020. Sounds like Pratt really has his shit together, huh? He's a pro-USA, Second Amendment loving American who has a hot new wife and yet another blockbuster level movie coming out early next year. So it's no wonder the left-wing SJWs are coming after him again. They can't stand seeing a straight white patriotic American doing well and being highly successful. That's why time and time again they will stretch the truth, omit important details, and flat out make stuff up to slander this guy. As I said before, Chris Pratt of course represents everything the liberals have grown to hate, and also at the same time he's a symbol of what our side loves and should strive for. And in some ways, actually, if the left was being honest and consistent, they would really be praising Pratt in some ways too. He did just marry the daughter of an American immigrant after all. Katherine Schwarzenegger is of course the daughter of the famous actor Arnold Schwarzenegger, a world famous action movie star, an immigrant from Austria. But of course, Austrian immigrants aren't the right kind of migrant for left-wingers. When they say they're pro-immigration and pro-importing more people, that's really only their stance if the people coming in are black or brown and they're willing to vote for the Democrats. In the end, what this all really shows here is how utterly bankrupt and dishonest the liberal mainstream media really is. And also, it shows how hardcore liberal and anti-conservative Hollywood and the American public really is. Keep in mind, Chris Pratt has never fully come out as conservative, and he's never supported Trump or gotten very political at all in any big way. But once the press got a whiff of a hint that he might be right-leaning, then all these bogus controversies started pouring out after him. All Pratt really did here was go to church and wear a shirt, but that's all it took for the SJWs to call him a racist white supremacist and a homophobic. So just imagine if he actually did go further one day and say he did something like condemn liberals or even support the president. Well, if he did that, Chris Pratt would certainly be figuratively executed publicly and probably exiled from all of Hollywood. What do you guys think? Is Chris Pratt an offensive racist? Was the shirt he was wearing problematic, or was it just being patriotic and pro-American? Because the evidence and comments provided here really aren't too convincing, and I think they may just have a bone to pick with our boy Chris for other reasons. Comment your thoughts on everything below, and thanks for watching No Bullshit. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and we'll see y'all next time.